So everyone shows you how to build a PC, but no one really shows you what to do after you build a PC. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to install Windows, update your drivers, and do a couple tweaks so you get the most performance out of your new PC. What's the deal, guys? How are we doing today? My name is Joshua Lopez and I'm here to help you grow and elevate your live stream and gaming experience. So if you're new to the channel, thanks for joining us. If you like the video, hit that like button and make sure to subscribe. But if you're returning, what's the deal, guys? It's good to see you. And if you have any questions about this video or a previous video, I do stream on Twitch pretty regularly, so hit me up there. Feel free to answer any questions you have. So you just finished your PC build, you're super excited, you go to turn it on, and sure enough, you think you broke something. Rest assured, you guys didn't. So let's go ahead and take you step by step. The first thing that we're going to be doing is installing Windows, and it's actually very easy. The only thing you're gonna need is a minimum 8 GB USB stick. We're gonna go to a website that I've dropped down below and install the Windows Media Creation Tool. It's very simple. I'm not gonna take you step by step with this one, but simply go download the application, create a new media tool, and put it into your USB stick. It's very simple. It walks you step by step, and I didn't want to make this video any longer than it needs to be. So get that done and come right back. So now that you've got your Windows installed into your USB stick, go ahead and plug that into your PC. We're going to turn the computer on and we're going to hit the delete button until we get into the BIOS. BIOS is the menu of the computer, and you'll know you're there because it's going to have all the information regarding your computer, and it might look a little intimidating because there's going to be a lot of different things on there. But don't worry, it's easy. So I've got that USB in. I'm going to go ahead and power up the computer, and I'm going to keep on clicking delete until the computer gets into the BIOS. And just keep doing that until it pops up. And now we are in the BIOS. It says BIOS has been reset. Please reconfigure your BIOS setup items if needed. Now, guys, depending on your motherboard manufacturer, you're going to have something completely different. The layout might be different. Colors will be different. There might be a couple settings here or there. So for the most part, don't get too caught up in what you're about to see because yours probably will be different. So in this case, I'm going to go and I'm going to press OK. And this is the BIOS. So now that we're into the BIOS, we want to take a look and make sure that everything that we've installed onto the computer is there, that nothing is missing. So as we can see here, we got the Ryzen 5 3600X, we have 16 GB of RAM, and it even shows you right here which slots it's in. We got it in the first and we got it into the third slot. It also shows each one is 8 GB, and it shows the speed of 2133. So I have 3200 megahertz RAM in here, but because I don't have the setting on, it's not going to give me that full speed. It's going to go to the stock 2133, and most likely yours will be there too. I'll show you how to do that, but later down towards the end of the video, because I do not want to mess anything up while we're installing Windows. So we're going to leave the speed as is. Now we also go to see all of our drives. First one is a USB. This is the SanDisk where I have the Windows on. Right here is my WD 2 terabyte hard drive, and then right here I have a second WD. This is the NVMe, which is 500 gig, and it also shows that we have all of our fans working. I want to make sure that all of this is there, and if it's not, make sure to move something around or just double check. Something might not be connected all the way. So now that we've confirmed that everything we've installed is there, let us go ahead and make sure that next time we boot our computer, it boots into the USB drive. And how you do that is go to the boot sequence, and you want to make sure that the USB that has Windows is in the first position. If it's not, move it there, because if you go to restart this, it's going to go to an empty drive and won't boot up. In order to get to the Windows, this has to be first position. So I want to put this here. I want to make sure it's first, and then we are just going to exit out of here. So now we save and exit, and we let the computer restart once more. So as it starts, it might do a boot sequence. It might turn on, turn off, and then turn back on. Just let it run its course until it restarts. Now it's restarting, and we can see that because the logo comes up, should be coming into the Windows blue screen, and this is the good blue screen, not like those other bad blue screens. All right, so now we are in Windows, as you can see, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Let me lower the sensitivity of my mouse because that's all crazy. Depending on where you are, you want to install the correct language. You want to put time and currency format to where you are, and also the keyboard layout. Just go ahead and press next, and then we're going to install now. So setup is starting. So guys, right here is going to be where you put your Windows key. If you purchase a Windows key already, go ahead and put it here. If you don't have one, that's okay. You can still pretty much do everything without that key. But if you do want a discounted key, I have dropped a link down below just to save a couple bucks. So go ahead and get that key and put that in here. So I don't have a key right now, so I'm just going to say I don't have a key, and I'm going to do the home version. Depending on which key you get, you want to make sure to install that version. So if you get a pro key, make sure to click pro, but I'm only going to get the home key, and I'll press next. So now this is just where you sell your soul away. No one really knows, but read it if you want. Oh well. So press next. So this is where it gets a little bit confusing. You would think to upgrade it, but we're actually not. We're going to do a custom install. It says advanced, but it's not that hard. Now it's going to be, where do we want to put Windows? I want to put Windows into my NVMe, 500 gigabytes. So I'm going to click 500 gigabyte storage so that Windows can be on here. So I'll click that. I'll go ahead and press next. And now it is installing Windows, and it's super easy. So while Windows is installing, I want to let you know that whenever I actually do the setup for Windows, I make sure not to be connected to the internet. So what tends to happen is you have to create a Windows Online account, and you also get all these applications downloaded into your computer without you even wanting. So to reduce any of that, make sure not to be connected to the internet. Also, if you have any privacy concerns or anything, it's just kind of better. So disconnect. So the computer's just finished, and now it is going to restart itself. And as you can see, it is getting everything ready, and it might do a couple boot cycles just because it's getting everything, but just let it be. Make sure not to turn it off or try and restart it yourself. Let it run its course. So now here we are. We're going to pick where we are, and I'm in the US as well. No, I want to skip that. Now it says your internet. I just talked about that. I'm going to go down here to I don't have internet. I'm going to go ahead and click that, and I'm going to continue with limited setup. I don't want any of the extra stuff. Now just name your PC, create a memorable password, and just use whatever you want. Now security questions, you can put whatever you want to put. So now all of these settings, I actually like to turn them off. Depending on what you want, you can set that up however. So I'm going to turn all this off. Done. Now this page is if you want to have all your computers linked up together. I don't like that, but that's up to you. So I'm going to click no. And then as far as Cortana, I'm also going to say not now, and then let it do its thing again. It's going to say hi. It's going to go through a couple cycles as well as it finishes. And that's pretty much it for Windows. Again, if you have any questions on this part, drop them down below. Don't forget, hit that like button. So awesome, we just finished installing Windows, and the next thing to do is make sure that all of our drives are actually formatted. For whatever reason, you install a drive, you would think that it shows up, but it doesn't. You have to set that up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down here. We're going to go to disk management. We're going to create and format a disk. So you must initialize a disk before logical disk manager can process it. So we're going to select disk 0 because we see right here, this is our 2 terabyte hard drive. It's black because no partitions are being used on it. We have to create that. If we go to our C drive, we see that it has all of our information right here, whatever we want to put, and it has pretty much Windows. So we get into here, make sure that we have disk 0, whatever drive yours is, click it, have it under the GPT, and then press OK. So what that is going to do is let the computer know that, hey, I can use this space for storage. So go back and click it, right click, new simple volume, press next, and then we're going to just use the full volume that we have. Press next again. This time I'm going to call this the D drive. You can have it whatever you want. I guess I can't have it at D. I'm going to press next. I'm also going to press next again. Press finish. And now you have your full drive. Now you have it, and as you can see, it's all blue and it's available. So however many drives you installed, make sure to do that to each one. So now that we got that taken care of, we can finally update Windows because this is probably an old version. You want to get the latest one. Also, what's going to happen during this process is it's going to automatically download generic and basic drivers just so that your PC can run. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this into the internet, and then we will get started. All right, so now it is connected to the network. It's going to be doing pretty much everything I just said. It's going to be downloading different drivers. So I'm going to go here. I want to press update and then check for updates. And again, it's going to say it's missing important security and quality fixes. So we're just going to check for all those updates and then let it go through it. Now, it's very important to note that sometimes these updates need to finish before the next one can go. So go ahead and just let all the updates happen. Don't skip any of this, just go through it. So now that it is asking me to restart, I'm gonna go ahead and restart it and keep letting all of the updates go through. So now that we got all of our Windows updates situated, the next thing to do is make sure that our drivers for our graphics card is set up correctly. So in this case, depending if you have an NVIDIA card or an AMD card, I'm gonna drop links down below where you can get these updated. Now for this computer, it has an NVIDIA card, so I'm gonna download the GeForce Experience. Go download that application, put all your information that you need in there, and then meet me back right here. So here's GeForce Experience. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on over to the drivers. It's going to say right here if you need a driver or not. In my case, I have the latest game ready drivers, so I don't have to do anything, but yours will be a little bit different. So make sure to click the driver that you need and then go ahead and download that. You can also click check for updates and see if you are lacking something. Another thing I do like is if you go on over to this little 3 dots, you can see that it says game ready drivers as well as studio drivers. So depending on what type of work you do, you can opt for game or studio. So we got our drivers downloaded, but we need to do a couple things as far as our refresh rate and get a little bit more performance. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click right here. Let's go on over to NVIDIA control panel and let's go ahead and do change resolution. Now this monitor is 165 Hertz, but I'm using an HDMI cable, so I'm not going to see that. But if you use a DisplayPort cable, you'll be able to see your higher refresh. If we look right here on refresh rate, I'm able to do 60, 59, and 50. Now, if you have a 144 Hertz monitor, make sure to click 144. It's not going to change automatically. Click this and then go ahead and hit the 144. Now, as far as your monitor, make sure it's the right resolution. So if it is 1080p or 1440, go ahead and click that and you'll do it right here. So this is 1080. And if I go down a little bit more, it's a 1440p monitor. So I can see it bigger. I have it at 1080p, but you can see right here the resolution. So whatever resolution monitor you have, go ahead and click it here. And again, whatever refresh rate you do have, go ahead and click right here. So the next thing we're going to do is get a little bit more performance out of your PC. So on the same page, we're going to go to manage 3D settings. I've already set it up on here, but you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to go down to the power management mode. I'm going to click this. I want to make sure I'm on prefer maximum performance. That's going to give me more power draw to the computer, more power to the graphics card, and it might have a little bit more fan noise and run a little bit hotter, but you'll get more frames with this. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to texture filtering quality. We're going to click this right here and make sure to get high performance. It's going to give us more performance. And as far as the actual visual quality, I can't really tell anything at all. So those two little hacks will give you more performance for your PC. Once you're done with that, make sure to hit that apply and then restart your computer. Now, do you remember that RAM that was set to 2133 that should have been 3200 or 3600 depending on your RAM speed? Let's go ahead and take care of that. So just like the beginning where we got into the BIOS, we want to do that right now. So we're going to restart our computer and we're going to hit the delete until we get back into the BIOS. So now we are back into the BIOS. Depending on what CPU you use, it's going to say two different things. It can say XMP or extreme memory profile like we're seeing right now, or it's going to say ODCP. We're going to enable XMP. We're going to go ahead and click that, and right away it sets our RAM to 3200 megahertz. So to double check that, let me go ahead and go to the advanced mode. I'm going to go back and see extreme memory profile. You can see it's on profile 1 and it is indeed showing the 3200. So we're good. Now you've gotten the memory speed that you're paying for. And if you're on AMD, memory speed means everything for your performance. So you don't want to leave anything out on the table. We're going to save and exit and then press yes. And then guys, we're done with our computer. Now there is one last thing to do, and because there's so many different motherboards out there, one video will not be able to provide all the information for everyone. But the last thing you're going to want to do is go on over to your motherboard manufacturer website, and it's going to give you an option to download all the drivers. It's going to give you your audio drivers, your chipset drivers, as well as internet drivers, your sound cards, and even your RGB applications. So make sure whatever motherboard you have, go head over to that website, download those drivers for the motherboard, and you'll be set 100%. I hope this video was able to get you up and running. And if you have any questions, or if I missed something, or if there's some of you guys that have done this before and would recommend something else, or one tip that might be easier for others, let me know. Drop them down below. If I missed anything, call me out, guys. I want to make sure that I am producing only the best content for you. And if you stayed to the end, hit that like. It helps us out. And if you're not subscribed already, subscribe. We're gonna have fun along this road. So in the meantime, guys, you game up.